Hello guys, Savitar here, and today we are going to be reacting to 3 Krabby Patty theory videos. And afterwards, I am going to give my own theory on what the Krabby Patty is made of. And what better to start us off than the official SpongeBob SquarePants channel. Alright, let's get started.
Patty is not what it seems. So we set out to uncover the truth about the chronic cravings, the dangerous ingredients, and finally, the elusive secret formula. This is Bikini Bottom Mysteries. Every day, schools of fish swarm the Krusty Krab. Feeding frenzies occur at local grocery stores, and starfish lose all self-respect. Oh boy, 3 a.m. All thanks to the coveted and mysterious burger, the Krabby Patty. Sure, a fish wanting a burger sounds totally normal, but a close study of local Bikini Bottomites suggests they don't just want Krabby Patties, but they appear to have developed a fundamental need for Krabby Patties.
So hungry.
Exhibit A, chronic cravings. The Krabby Patty is full of mysteries. Who cooks them when SpongeBob's not there? How do you actually spell patty? And what is the...
Wait, what?
SpongeBob's not there. How...
Sorry. Okay. I never noticed that.
do you actually spell patty? And what is the secret formula?
Yes.
Don't worry, we're getting to that. But one thing that is certain, once you take even one bite of a Krabby Patty, you'll never stop coming back for more. Remember local Krabby Patty critic Squidward Tentacles?
That thing is a heart attack on a bun.
Well, this is him after taking just one bite of a Krabby Patty. Sheldon Plankton once had a...
Okay, it wasn't one bite. He took a bite of a Krabby Patty and then ate an entire freezer pantry of them. He ate hundreds of Krabby Patties to get that.
promising future as a respected criminal. But now he won't hesitate to throw himself into a dangerous pit of electricity just to be closer to a Krabby Patty. And Patrick Star used to be passionate about sleeping as much as physically possible. But nowadays, his disgusting habit won't even let him sleep through the night. Oh boy, 3 a.m. Because if he does, according to the cook himself, he will surely suffer from Krabby Patty withdrawal. What's happening to me? Let me say that again. Krabby Patty withdrawal.
Patrick is suffering from Krabby Patty withdrawal.
So who's really eating who? Is the Krabby Patty the one consuming the customer, becoming the driving force behind every decision they make? Once respectable businessmen shamelessly eat old rotting patties. Renowned fry cooks vow to marry their sandwich sweethearts.
May I call you Patty?
And even superheroes, once sworn to protect Bikini Bottom, will turn to the side of terror and evil just because they couldn't get their
Now
fix.
wait just a darn minute. I want a Krabby Patty.
But it's just a harmless sandwich, right? Wrong. Exhibit B, dangerous ingredients. While the Krusty Krab may want to sell you the narrative that the Krabby Patty is healthy, nothing could be further from the truth. Let's go back in time to the mysterious origins of the Krabby Patty and what just may be the most elaborate cover-up since the Great Balloon Scandal of Bikini Bottom. Enter Eugene Krabs, the supposed sole creator of the Krabby Patty. But our records indicate he was once a known associate of evil mastermind Sheldon Plankton. And together, the two of them created a long-forgotten burger known only as the Plab Patty. But don't be fooled by its incredibly appetizing name, because the Plab Patty was proven to be disgusting, dangerous, and diabolical. These These public health concerns forced Krabs to alter the Plab Patty recipe, adding 6 new ingredients to create a safer patty, the Krabby Patty.
Discovered the perfect patty batter!
But newly uncovered footage reveals a shocking truth about those 6 ingredients. They were never even taken out of their bottles, never able to
Hold on.
mix with the...
One moment. Sorry guys, I'm taking notes. Um, hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I see, I see. Okay.
With the rest of the
Sorry about that,
batter.
guys.
That's right. The Plab Patty batter was never changed at all. Meaning the Krabby Patty and the dangerous Plab Patty are the same patty. Not convinced? Fast forward to present day, and Krabby Patties have caused more emergencies, breakdowns, and zombie apocalypses than any other underwater burger in the world. Coincidence? We don't think so. So how did a simple rebranding trick all of Bikini Bottom?
Okay, so one was because Mr. Krabs ate a very old patty that was underneath the frying pan, underneath the grill, whatever it's called. And the other one was because it was either Sandy or Mr. Krabs, I don't remember, but one of them made a... It was Sandy. It was Sandy. Sandy made a prototype Krabby Patty. They were orange and all that. That is what caused the Krabby Patty zombie-like apocalypse. So it's not actually the Krabby Patties that are the problem. This is like red herrings. So I gotta go. So there are things that are gonna throw you off if you're not careful.
Into liking this disgusting burger? The answer just may lie in Exhibit C, the secret formula. For ages, researchers, students, and various holy men have scoured the earth for answers to that age-old question, what is...
Wait, when did... I'm sorry. When did those two get married? Never mind. Let's just continue.
To that age-old question, what is the Krabby Patty's secret formula? Their combined efforts have led us to 3 groundbreaking documents we believe are the key to the shocking truth about the fishy formula. Our first document actually reveals a few of the elusive ingredients. Ingredients like a teaspoon of Zoyce shale, 4 entire cups of Gessic, and even an unknown quantity of chopped Dufour. So yeah, no surprises there.
Wait a minute.
But hold your seahorses, because according to our second document, the formula is not just a list of simple ingredients, but in fact delves into molecular physics. Could this explain the strange effects the patties have on bikini bottomites? Has the patty's very biochemistry been engineered to control the minds of its customers? But hold your seahorses again, because that's nothing compared to our third document. The one that reveals one additional ingredient. An ingredient so disgusting, so sickening, and just downright wrong, that Mr. Krabs has kept it a secret since the very creation of the Krabby Patty. The horrifying truth about each and every Krabby Patty in Bikini Bottom is that they each contain an entire pinch of chum. That's right. The very same repulsive ingredient used at the chum bucket. Gross, right?
That's disgusting.
Can these horrifying secrets really be true? Or is the Krabby Patty just misunderstood? We may never know the truth about the Krabby Patty, the plaid patty, or the secret formula, but one thing's for sure. It will go straight to your thighs. Trust me. And now, for a Bikini Bottom bonus mystery. As an underwater city, it stands to reason that Bikini...
Okay. I do not think that the Krabby Patty has chum in it, and there is a reason why, but I'll go over that later. On to the next video, which is from Screen Rant. I'll put links to the... I forgot to mention that I'm going to be putting links to the videos below in the description. So, go support them. They make great videos. So let's see. Screen Rant.
Without a doubt, SpongeBob SquarePants is one of the...
Whoa.
Without a doubt, SpongeBob SquarePants is one of the biggest cartoon sensations ever. It's the show that keeps on giving. If you liked it as a child, chances are you'll grow into an even more obsessed adult. So much so that fans everywhere are all over the internet, coming up with wild theories about the show. And there is no fan theory more insane than this one, about what really lies within Krabby Patties. For the uninitiated, SpongeBob SquarePants is a Nickelodeon TV show chronicling the deep-sea adventures of our titular hero, SpongeBob and his friends, who live in the fictional undersea town of Bikini Bottom. Also for the uninitiated, have you been living at the bottom of the ocean? SpongeBob is such a sensation that it is the highest-rated Nickelodeon series ever, and on its own has made the company over $13 billion. With its whimsical and often totally weird sense of humor, the show has something for everyone, of every age group, and is still going strong after 2 decades. Among the beloved characters who live their lives in Bikini Bottom is Mr. Krabs, or Eugene Harold Krabs for friends and family. Mr. Krabs is, well, a crab. He's the owner of the Krusty Krab restaurant, where both SpongeBob and Squidward earn their livelihoods. Speaking of livelihood, Mr. Krabs loves money. Loves it. Can't get enough of the stuff. Well, he does have a daughter named Pearl. It wouldn't be hard to argue that he seems to be a bigger fan of his money than he is of his offspring, which is what leads us to this fan theory. Now, it's no secret that fans of the show have been suspicious for a while about what Mr. Krabs' famous Krabby Patty is made of, seeing as how there are no cows at the bottom of the sea, aside from manatees who are essentially cows of the ocean. But anyway, it's not like Krabs is at all forthcoming about what's in those patties. In fact, one of the longest running storylines is about how secretive he is about it. He is constantly trying to keep that recipe close to his chest, and especially out of the hands of his nemesis, Plankton. Sure, this could all be explained away because Krabby Patties are super duper popular, and he doesn't want the competition to get his hands on it. But what if there was something a little more sinister going on? Some disturbing theories have arisen in an attempt to explain what the mysterious patties are made of. One of the most popular and creepiest theories out there is that the Krabby Patties are actually made of crab. While it may seem like a totally insane thing to happen in a children's TV cartoon, there is a ton of evidence to support this Silence of the Crabs theory. First off, Mr. Krabs seems to be the only crab in the ocean. Now, we know that we pretty much stick to the Bikini Bottom region during the show, but you'd think that there would at least be a sighting of another crustacean down there. And yet, barely any, especially in Bikini Bottom. So where are all these other crabs? Is it possible that the maniacal Mr. Krabs has a long-running, secretly sinister scheme that involves catching and serving up crab for all of his loyal patrons in a seriously deranged attempt to get rich? Well, just look at the shape of the Krusty Krab. Just look at it! Now look at a picture of a crab trap. See anything similar between the two? But wait, you say! Mr. Krabs actually does have a mother in Bikini Bottom, who also happens to be a crab. To this, the fans say true, but maybe. If Mr. Krabs is actually a secret crab-baboon. Can a crab? Crab who cooks and eats other crabs? Then it isn't out of the realm of possibility that he is also pulling a total Norman Bates, Mrs. Doubtfire situation and impersonating his own mother to keep up appearances. There's even a possibility that he used his own mother in one of his patties. Maybe she was even his first. Ugh, this is getting pretty dark. Let's move on. Now, there is some debate about this theory online because of a recent recipe that was leaked by Nickelodeon for Krabby Patties. Probably in an effort to dispel the rumors about one of their most popular characters being a fiendish monster who would turn on his own kind to turn a profit. But that's besides the point. And we have an investigation to conduct. So, at the bottom of the totally normal list of ingredients that include things like sea tomato, sea lettuce, and thyme is listed 1 pound of imitation crab meat. For some, this was enough to believe that there was nothing untoward going on whatsoever. They thought to themselves, well, maybe this is why Krabby Patties are so popular. Not because of their delicious crabby flavor, but because nothing tastes better than the comfortable knowledge that you're not consuming your friends for dinner. Case closed. But some SpongeBob fans weren't quite so easily swayed, and with the culinary prowess of Julia Child mastering the art of French cuisine, they dug even deeper, only to find out some pretty interesting stuff about imitation crab. Commonly used in sushi rolls, imitation crab isn't made of crab, that's for sure. But it is made of fish. Ground up whitefish protein to be exact, just dyed a reddish hue in order to resemble crab meat. So even if the residents of Bikini Bottom aren't eating members of Mr. Krabs' family, they might actually be eating some of their own, which, if it's not worse, is still not great. And while we're on the topic, why is it acceptable in the first place that he has been selling burgers that are supposed to taste like crab? Isn't that like having a fast food restaurant that specializes in serving an imitation human burger that gives you all that real human experience without all the fuss of having to quit your job and become a full-time Hannibal Lecter? None of that is cool, my dudes. There's even video evidence that Mr. Krabs is up to some weird stuff. And he says it out loud. He actually looks down at a Krabby Patty and says that he and it are two of a kind. And what he says after taking a bite might just be the most unsettling moment of them all.
So that's what I taste like.
He said it! He just came right out and admitted it. Right then and there. Right there. Did you see that? Right there. Oh, Mr. Krabs, what have you done?
So, yeah. I think that the Krabby Patty does have crab meat. The thing is that, there are other crabs. Because they're I think it's in one of the episodes, Mr. Krabs and the Old Man Jenkins family, the Krabs family and the Old Man Jenkins family have an argument, and they bring out their argument is with respecting their elders, and so they keep on going from older generation to older generation to older generation. Mr. Krabs even summons the ghost of one of his ancestors. So there are other ghosts, there are other crabs within Bikini Bottom. So that doesn't really work. What he said doesn't really make sense. Also, as I said, I do believe that there's crab meat in the Krabby Patties. You see, a crab can lose their claws and regrow them, if I remember correctly. So that might be where he's getting a constant supply of crab meat. His family might be taking off their own claws to provide the meat for the Krabby Patties. It's just a thought.
Sorry to ruin your childhoods here, but if it makes you feel any better, this theory is ruining ours right along with you. And we're not even done yet, so hang on to your pants, whatever shape they might be. There's also the issue of the other mysterious substance listed in the ingredients for the secret Krabby Patty formula. And the theory around this one will really knock your barnacles off. In looking up the recipe for Krabby Patties, fans became very curious about one particular ingredient. Along with everything else that we're familiar with, including the above-mentioned imitation imitation crab debacle, the recipe also calls for a pinch of King Neptune's Poseidon powder. Now, Poseidon powder could just be some special spice blend that Mr. Crab has renamed in order to keep it a secret from Plankton.
Okay, so this one has been debunked. In no episode is Poseidon powder even mentioned. So I'm just gonna skip past this part.
And he almost had more. Actually, another thing, and can't seem to get enough of them. Nor do they really care what they're made of. A bandit. The crab actually showers himself in money. And while McDonald's has proven that it is possible to get that kind of moolah from slinging burgers alone, the Krusty Krab is not a worldwide chain. It's one's good enough business by just making some really for good enough, or would he find some way to make sure that the demand for his burgers with crabs is essential in order to grow his business? But he can't do it alone, which is where SpongeBob and Squidward come in. The never-ending appetite for Krabby he knows too much, so crabs won't and Krabby Patties entirely. And when she found out that SpongeBob had started selling them out of his house in order to meet the demand, she literally called in a police raid with a SWAT team. And yet, the second that she tastes a Krabby Patty for herself, boom. So does actually, wait, we in for a best crabs in the ocean showcases how big this Krabby Patty cannibalistic ring can get. These other crabs are just as cheap as Mr. Krabs.
Here we go.
Even form their secret group known as the Penny Pinchers. There's a lot more.
Wait. He earlier said that we don't see any crabs earlier in the video, didn't he? Was it this video? Yeah, he said earlier in this video that we don't see any other crabs and that he might be disguising himself as his mother. And yet, here we are with more crabs. I'm going to take whatever facts are given in this video with a grain of salt. Or whatever is given in this video with a grain of salt. Because there are some contradicting things in here.
More than meets the eye in this suspicious group, likely luring other crabs in for meat and transferring some of that good old Poseidon powder between each other. One of the crabs, Dwight T. Wad, is even a grocery store manager and likely a meat supplier for the Krusty Krab. If you believe that all of this evidence is real, it's almost impossible to deny that there is something else going on behind the scenes in Bikini Bottom. Now, maybe it's all just one or two big misunderstandings, but the fans of these cartoons are seriously impressive detectives and always make sure that their research is terrifyingly thorough. Sure, you can go ahead and choose to believe that SpongeBob SquarePants is just another cartoon for kids about an innocent undersea sponge, a crab and a squid, and the rest of their nautical pals. In fact, we wouldn't blame you. Maybe the Krabby Patty imitation crab is just made of seaweed or kelp or something. People do amazing things with imitation meat these days, so who knows? And maybe the Poseidon powder is just a delicious blend of paprika, cumin, and some other spices that go well with paprika and cumin. Sure, let's go with that. But just like those mysterious lights in the sky that might just be aliens from distant galaxies on their way to pay us a visit here on Earth and maybe share a Krabby Patty or two, let's be honest, they would love SpongeBob. Sometimes things are more than what they seem. Just like the most dedicated SpongeBob fans out there, keep your eyes peeled. Is anybody else hungry? Could totally go for some imitation crab right about now. Oh man, this theory just about...
So the Poseidon powder thing was proven wrong, so the only thing I could take from it is the crab meat. That either it's fake crab meat or just crab meat. And most likely comes from the claws. Now, we are going to be reacting to Matt Pat. And his secret ingredient. So, oh, no.
Television event. A massive concrete vault has been discovered. Well, tonight, for the first time, that vault is going to be open live. Holy shrimp!
Okay, no offense, Matt Pat, if you're watching this, but I like your intros, but I want to get through this.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory, the show that uncovers secrets with all the determination and success of Plankton. Oh, shoot, that's not really a good thing, is it? SpongeBob
No, it's
SquarePants
not.
as a franchise has been so omnipresent since its debut in 1999 that I think most of us assumed that it would never go away, which is part of the reason why the loss of Steven Hillenburg, its creator at age 57 by ALS, was so tragic. It's not exaggerating in the slightest to say that he gave us some of the most iconic characters, most quotable lines, and memorable moments of recent history. He is, without question, one of the most influential people in children's programming and current internet culture. It's probably for all those reasons that one of the most requested film theory topics of the last year has been from SpongeBob. Specifically, the question that all us burger lovers, sponge lovers, and spongy burger lovers want to know: what is the Krabby Patty's secret formula? It's a question that's persisted for so long that
Do
it
tell,
feels
Matt
like it
Pat.
should be sacrilegious to try and answer it. But if there's one thing that film theory stands for, it's treating nothing as sacred. So today, SpongeBob is on the menu, and I consider it my honor to see if we can find out the secret formula that tickles the taste buds of our imagination, or if this secret will remain trapped in Bikini Bottom forever. The biggest problem with trying to figure out the Krabby Patty secret formula is that any time it comes up in the show, we run into some suspicious problems. These problems make it hard to pinpoint just what the secret formula actually is. We know for a fact that the secret formula for a Krabby Patty is referring to the patty itself, and not what's actually on the burger, because we already know the full list of what goes on these things. Or do we? The Krusty Krab is surprisingly fast and loose with this information, since as early as Season 1, Episode 6, the episode Pickles, SpongeBob reveals all the ingredients to a Krabby Patty with the works.
I can't put a patty on a bun with lettuce, cheese, onions, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, pickles, and top bun together in that order.
From the mouth of the chef himself. But then the story changes, because 2 seasons later we hear a different recipe from the Krusty Krab commercial shown in As Seen on TV, Season 3, Episode 7.
We start with a fresh patty, grilled and juicy. Add some crisp undersea veggies and cheese, topped off with secret sauce and some bun. Voila! A Krabby Patty.
It's pretty significantly different. This one is missing mustard, tomatoes, and onions, which are not underseas veggies. I'll give him cucumbers, since I guess those could be sea cucumbers. And this one has secret sauce, which SpongeBob didn't list at all, despite him describing a Krabby Patty with the works. Literally everything on it.
Can you make me one with everything?
Oh, and by the way, at no point is it said in the show that you need a pinch of Poseidon powder, like some recent rumors circulating the internet have been saying. That was a mistake on the fan wiki, and it actually has no grounding in the show itself. That's why you gotta be careful when trusting non-primary sources. Though I will
See? I was right. Thank you, Matt Pat.
say Poseidon powder is slang for cocaine, and if cocaine were indeed the secret ingredient in these patties, it would result in the addictive power and taste of love that the Krabby Patty often possesses. So maybe it wasn't that far off. But like I said, no actual evidence of it in the show, because if there was evidence of it in the show, you know I would be all over that like Squidward on a vault full of Krabby Patties. Telling you your favorite cartoon characters are addicted to cocaine is like my favorite pastime. So what is really going on here? Well, for the answer, maybe we can turn to the real recipe. Luckily, in Krabby Road, Season 6, Episode 1, Plankton dupes SpongeBob into joining his band, which gives him a chance to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula, and for the first, and to my knowledge, only time, we actually get a glimpse of it right before Plankton is caught. And what we see is gibberish? What's the deal? This is the official Krabby Patty secret formula kept in the restaurant, so why is it just a bunch of gobbledygook? Well, 2 different possibilities exist. Possibility 1, it's the real formula, but it's written down using some kind of coded cipher. And if Plankton had the right decryption key, he could translate that garbled gibberish into the real thing. Possibility 2, this ingredients list isn't real. Mr. Krabs is lying about the recipe. And if you try to break apart this formula, this starts to seem more and more likely. One of the most common ways to break a simple cipher is with frequency analysis. The idea being that if you have a long enough string of text, you can match certain letters in the cipher to certain letters based on their frequency. For For example, a letter that appears a lot of times in the cipher is more likely to be a vowel like E or A, or a consonant like S or T. But when we run SpongeBob's Krabby Patty formula through a frequency analysis tool, we find these results. The most common letters are H and G, followed by S, F, and D. The frequency analysis tool doesn't suggest any possible solutions to the cipher. G, D, S, G, E, H, S, G is pretty hard to map onto anything when it has so many repeating letters, let alone a word that would actually show up in an ingredients list. Plugging that into a cryptogram solver, the only words that could possibly translate into these letters are kickback, gangling, tastiest, and elsewise. None of these are Krabby Patty ingredients. You can't have 4 cups of elsewise. Tastiest looks promising, but if you try to use that cipher to solve the rest of the recipe, you just get even more gibberish, and none of the other words work out. But the letters and their frequency could still provide another hint. You see, they're all letters from the middle part of the keyboard, and the 2 most common letters are H and G specifically, which are in the absolute dead center of the keyboard. What would fit perfectly with this arrangement of letters is if someone like Mr. Krabs just wanted SpongeBob to think that this was the secret recipe, so he just mashed on the keyboard to produce these non-words. And here's where Mr. Krabs' real secret formula starts to come out. It's all a ruse. There is no secret formula. It's why the ingredients list for the Krabby Patty seems so variable throughout the series, both with and without the special sauce. Why the official patty recipe is a bunch of keyboard mashing. It's here that we learn a very important lesson about SpongeBob as well as our own world. It's not about the food, it's about the business. Mr. Krabs is a lot of things, and one thing he is not is an expert chef, but what he is an expert businessman. The secret to the Krusty Krab's success isn't his amazing recipe, but his amazing marketing ability. He creates the mystery around his patty as a one-of-a-kind burger. But let's face it, this is a hamburger, Krabby burger, whatever. It's not unique. The secret formula is all just a big marketing ploy. Doesn't seem likely? Just look at examples in the real world. Technically, there is nothing about a McDonald's burger that you can't replicate at home or at another restaurant. Comparing the Big Mac to the Big King, these things are essentially the same. Most of the value from McDonald's lies in the brand that people trust to produce 100,000 burgers per day at over 30,000 locations around the globe, all making it possible to go to almost any city in the world, see those golden arches and say, yeah, I know what kind of experience I'm gonna have there. I don't know if I'll like anything else around here, so I might as well get the good old reliable Big Mac instead of taking a chance at that mom and pop hoagie stand. McDonald's brand is reliability. The Krusty Krab's brand is uniqueness. It's the reason that McDonald's spends $2 billion a year on advertising. You can make the best food in the world, but if no one knows about it, you're gonna go out of business pretty quickly. But if you're a savvy businessman like Mr. Krabs, or a $137 billion company like McDonald's, creating awareness for your brand is a lot more important than serving up patties that are objectively the best tasting. The Krabby Patty is the ultimate guerrilla marketing tactic. You start a rumor about your own franchise that makes it sound vague and mysterious.
Love it! Kind of vague and mysterious.
And then rather than spend money on marketing, you let word of mouth do the work for you, and you get people talking about your product without having to spend a dime.
Well, that sounds very interesting.
Don't think Mr. Krabs' tactic worked? SpongeBob debuted in the 90s, and people are still talking about the Krabby Patty secret formula, trying to uncover the elusive bit of knowledge in a fictional show, a piece of knowledge that doesn't really exist. For a real-world example, consider the Nameless Juice brand, a brand of lemonade that refuses to actually put a brand name on itself and instead is just known for its mysterious flavor. The actual secret behind the fruity drink is that it contains some vegetable juice as well, which makes it about as unique as V8, so basically not at all. That said, the mystery around that brand has driven massive underground word of mouth. Heck, even McDonald's own secret sauce is just mayonnaise, pickles, mustard, and a few spices, but the fact that they call it secret makes it seem like it's more exclusive and therefore more in demand than it really is. So both in real life and in 2000s cartoons, it's not about having the Krabby Patty secret formula, it's just about having something you call a secret formula. And as a bonus in SpongeBob, it distracts Mr. Krabs' main competitor by sending Plankton on a wild goose chase for a formula that he's never actually gonna be able to find. The only thing that throws a monkey wrench into Mr. Krabs' plans, though, are his employees. Hence, he hires someone like Squidward, who doesn't really care about the secret, and SpongeBob. SpongeBob is honest to a fault, a real stand-up sponge, and he doesn't take kindly to things like fraud and deception. So if SpongeBob knew about the Krabby Patty's lack of a secret formula, formula, he might let that slip, or feel guilty about implicitly lying to everyone every time he served up a burger. And so Mr. Krabs' solution? Slap his claws onto the keyboard for a minute and give SpongeBob a fake formula. Make him think it's real, and don't worry if it ends up getting stolen. It sounds outlandish, or just a cop-out to say that there's no real formula and that there's nothing secret to the Krabby Patty that makes it magically delicious. I mean, we all remember how Squidward completely lost his mind the first time he sunk his teeth into a Krabby Patty in just one bite.
I love Krabby Patty!
Surely there must be something at work here, and there is. It's just marketing once again. According to Aaron Garvey, an assistant professor of marketing at the UK Gatton College of Business and Economics, the way that people feel about a product is heavily linked to psychology and their brand association with that product. In his research, he found, quote, you could take the exact same product that you were thinking about taking to market and you could put it in front of consumers. And you could change what price you were going to launch it at, and you could change what brand it was. And they would have dramatically different impressions of that product. And they would tell you incredibly different things about that product. That they thought it was made of different materials, that they thought it weighed more, or that it weighed less. So when Mr. Krabs says that the Krabby Patty's secret formula is what makes it so delicious, he's actually not lying. If he's created a brand association, created what is essentially a legendary burger, people will experience it differently. If what people believe about a product's weight or materials is dependent on the brand they believe it is, that effect is going to be just as strong, if not stronger, when it comes to totally subjective qualities like how good a burger tastes. The Krabby Patty secret formula might have started as a lie, but now the real secret ingredient is an ingredient that everyone thinks is there, but one that doesn't truly exist. But hey, have you ever wanted to be a grill?
Okay, so I'm just gonna come out and say it, and I believe Matt Pat is wrong. For starters, if that was the case, how do I put this? Let's start off like this. Let's go through the videos from the first video to the third video and talk about each to build my theory. So first off, the first video, I don't think that I don't think there's chum in the Krabby Patty. I honestly don't. And the reason being the episode Chum Monkey. In that episode, we find out that Mr. Krabs has been eating chum for years. And if there was chum in the Krabby Patties, wouldn't he eat the chum that's used to make the Krabby Patties if there was still chum within them? But instead, he goes to plankton. He goes to plankton to get chum. So I don't think that there's chum in the Krabby Patties. Another thing, if we go forward a little bit, let's see. Look at that yellow bottle. It doesn't have a lid on. You can see with the other containers, there's a cork, there's a red lid, pink, blue, and yellow. But then there's that yellow bottle right there with the blue label. It does not have a lid on. So whatever that is probably changed what the patty tastes like, and as such is the secret sauce. Now, I gotta agree that the rest of it probably didn't make it into. The rest of it probably didn't make it into the patty batter, but whatever is in that yellow
ingredient.
bottle, probably changed the taste of the patty. Now, I also agree that there is probably crab meat or fake crab meat. Either way, crab meat is in there. A type of crab meat. Now, it was originally within the patty, but then there was also secret sauce. Whatever that yellow bottle is, it could possibly be put into the patty or mixed in with the ketchup and mustard to create a new sauce. Because let's find it here. Where he compared it. Here we go. So we got mustard, ketchup, tomatoes, and onions. Now, this is where we see the one with the special sauce, I believe. Yes, special sauce. Except that right there looks a lot like onions, not pickles. So I do think there's onions on there. Oop. Let's keep going a little further forward. It won't move forward. Well, either way, the secret sauce is most likely ketchup, mustard, and whatever was in that yellow bottle. Now, I saw onions. I didn't see tomatoes. I also didn't see pickles. But the depiction of the Krabby Patty changed, because right here the cheese and lettuce and such is on the bottom, but the one he's holding has lettuce on top. So I think that he left out things for marketing, but yeah, I think that's it. So recap. My theory is that it is the patty or sometimes the sauce, probably depending on how fast or if they were able to prep patties before. I think. Um, so the patties are crab meat with whatever is in that yellow bottle. It can be applied to the patty or the secret sauce. And the patty no longer has chum within it, because otherwise Mr. Krabs would have eaten the chum used to create the patties during the Chum Monkey episode. So, most likely, the Krabby Patty has no chum. Um, the Krabby Patty does not have Poseidon powder, as I said. So I would say if we could figure out what that is, what that yellow bottle is, then we'd know what to put into the actual patty. But yeah, that's my theory. The Krabby Patty's just crab meat with whatever that yellow sauce is. Um, um, or yellow condiment or whatever. So, yeah, I think that's it. Um, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I know this was a long video, but I'll try to post shorter videos later on. I hope you enjoyed it again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.